Hello and welcome back to the Spookins channel, a place for us to speak about all things horror. My name is Sam.
I'm Sarah.
We are back making tier lists for you today. We are doing Final Destination deaths, not including any large-scale disasters and not including any premonitions. We are not including Bloodlines either, so if you haven't seen it, there will be no spoilers. We are yet to see it. Maybe we have by the time this video goes out, but as of recording, we have not seen it, and we are very excited.
Yes, we are. So this is spoiler-free for Bloodlines.
Cool. Tell us where we are.
Okay, so as you may know if you've watched any video we've made, we are horrible with character names. So I've written them all down on my little notebook so that we can remember. We remembered all the faces, we remembered all the deaths, but I realised as we were coming to do it, I didn't know any of their names.
Yeah, and we didn't want to sit here and be like, right, next up is this guy.
So the first up we've got from Final Destination 1 is Todd.
Todd.
So Todd's quite a scary one, really. It's the opening real death after the large-scale Flight 180 disaster. Mm-hmm. And it's quite scary, really, when he's just, the rope or the string or whatever is going around him, and you can see the blood vessels bursting, and it's just scary.
It is, yeah. It's one that, like, as far as Final Destination deaths go, you can kind of imagine happening in a way and be like, oh, you know what, whilst it's obviously like ridiculous,
yes, and the death definitely, it's one of the only deaths where death is actually like hee it was me, yeah, because the water goes back and forth. Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah,
it's realistic and it's quite tame.
I find this death great in a way, because like when you think of Final Destination and someone asks me about the deaths, this is one of the first ones that pops into my mind.
Oh, is it? That's
interesting.
Even
though it's basically nothing on the scale of Final Destination deaths that have been.
Yeah, that is interesting then. So where would you put it? I wouldn't put it in Still Gives Us Nightmares.
No, this one is iconic for me.
Yeah?
Simply for that reason. Like, no matter how extravagant and wild they get, I will never forget.
Yeah, I think that's fair for it to go an iconic. It's the first one, and it is very memorable. So I think that's fine. Next up, we've got Terry. Just gets taken out by a bus mid-sentence.
Just gets hit by a bus.
Yeah, but having said that, I still think it's iconic.
Iconic. An iconic hitting by a bus.
Iconic getting hit. Because she's mid-sentence. You aren't expecting it at all. Because at this point, you don't really know the concept. You're still, I don't know. It's because she steps into the road, and this is the first film, so it's not like the ones after that, the sequels, where you're like, okay, she stepped into the road, a car is going to come, something is going to come from the road, and that's how she's going to die. She's just talking to them. Do you know what I mean? She's just berating the two boys, and then out of nowhere, bam, bus.
You expect after the first one that all of the deaths in this franchise or in this like series are going to have these like, is it this, is it that, is it this, is it that? And then this kind of makes you go, oh, well, it could actually just happen at any time. But
I'm putting it in iconic. Sorry, it's done.
Okay. Sure. We'll give you that one.
Yes,
that's fine.
Okay, that's my freebie.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Valerie, whose death is incredibly intricate. It's one of the first like long scenes we get, because the Todd one is an extended scene, but you kind of see what's happening. It's the death is extended rather than the lead up to the death is extended, whereas in this one she's drinking vodka out the mug and the mug cracks. There's the fire, there's the knives, and it all kind of builds and builds and builds, but in the end she is killed by a chair dropping a knife into her.
Well, she's already got a knife.
She has already got a knife.
The chair hits it in further.
Yeah. And then Alex, not related, for some inexplicable reason, takes the knife out and is like, ha. I don't know, you want to look suspicious? Go for it, my G. I think this one is memorable but mid.
I would agree. Memorable but mid is probably the place where you put it.
Because it's not forgettable, because I just outlined almost every single detail of the death.
Exactly, yeah. So you definitely remember it.
But I don't think it's that iconic. I remember that scene more for the bit of Alex pulling the knife out of her for no reason to make himself look suspicious.
Yeah.
Okay, next up we've got Billy.
Billy on the train track.
Billy on the train track.
Oh, no.
And this is another one. I'm not going to put this one in iconic, don't worry. This is not the criteria for iconic.
Yeah.
This is another one that comes out of nowhere, really. They show you the little bit of the... I don't know what kills him, like metal sheet.
It's just like a... It's,
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it is.
And
is it like a sign?
I don't... Maybe. You see it rattling.
Yeah.
But he's also... mid-sentence, it's at the climax, like the climax of the scene has already happened. Alex has pulled Carter out of the car and the like catharsis of the scene has happened.
Yeah.
And then bam.
Yeah, the implication is like, oh, they've managed to beat it on this occasion.
Yes. And they're talking about that. They're like, who's next? And I can't remember what he's saying, but he's like, you're next, and then it's him. And so
And we love a beheading. It'll always be a place in horror for a nice beheading.
So where would you put this one then?
Memorable but mid.
I think so too. Because it's not forgettable.
No.
But, you know, it's just...
It's
whilst we love a beheading, it's a simple beheading.
It's a simple beheading.
Yeah. Next, we've got Carter. And he is wiped out by the 180 sign, Cafe 180 sign in Paris. And I included this one, even though we don't see him die. I think it's safe to assume that the sign kills him.
Is this the... not fade, but like cut to black?
Yes, just before it
hits him. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is where they're in the cafe in Paris, and Alex has just made the connection that he never moves seats. So he's worried. And again, it's kind of a bait and switch like the Billy one was, because you think it's Alex that's going to get killed. But Carter saves his life, and then it loops back round to Carter, and then he gets wiped out by a sign. I wouldn't say it's the most memorable.
No, I don't think it can go anywhere even above a bit forgettable simply through being a cut to black. Like, you don't even see it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a little bit harsh, but I'll allow it because I don't know. I don't think any of them are forgettable because I am a huge Final Destination fan and I know all of these deaths. I haven't forgotten a single one. So we'll have to go from what you think is forgettable. If it was up to me, it would be memorable but mid and above.
Up next, Evan is escaping from his burning flat, which is another one where it's almost like post scene that the actual death happens, where you think like, oh, he's beat so many different variations of this death, and then the fire escape ladder
it's another
comes down.
It's another one where the lead up is fantastic. He puts his arm through the I don't know what that is. It's an American thing. We don't have that here.
Is it like a garbage disposal?
I don't really know what that is, but I see it a lot in horror films. We don't have that here.
No, we don't.
He puts his arm down it, and I imagine there's blades or something that's going to take his arm off. And he survives that. The tea towel catches fire, loads of things, and he finally gets out, and then he gets slammed dunked by a fire escape. Something else we don't really have here is those fire escape ladders on the sides of buildings.
No, I haven't seen many. I know they do exist here.
We live in an apartment block,
and we don't
have one.
We don't have fire escapes out.
So I would say still gives us nightmares, but it also doesn't, because we don't have those here.
I think this is iconic.
Yeah, I think
this
it's
is an
iconic.
death.
For still gives us nightmares, that's for things where I'm like, that could happen.
Yeah, like every time you like walk past this thing in real life, you're a bit like...
Like if we were including premonitions, the one from number 2, the pile up, would be in Still Gives Us Nightmares. Because when I'm driving behind a truck with anything on it,
especially logs,
although we don't have that as much here. It's normally metal poles. I think of Final Destination. So let's move on to Tim, the ambiguously aged child of Final Destination 2. This is one of my favourite deaths. Again, the setup is there. You think he's going to choke on the mobile thing. And then you think more's going to happen. The gas is going to explode or whatever. And then Slam dunk by... Everyone gets slam dunked in Final Destination 2.
The ragdoll on the, like, corpse during this death is one of the best things I've seen in film. It's so great the way it just, like, folds up. Oh, it's disgusting.
Yeah, that is... I think it's between iconic and still gives us nightmares. Although I just said I'm scared that might... like, still gives us nightmares of things I'm scared might happen. I'm not particularly scared of it, but
You're not scared that a random piece of glass is going to fall from the sky and crash you.
Fold me in half. Maybe it's iconic then.
It's definitely iconic, I think.
Actually, yes, considering who's next, he's going in iconic. But next up we have Nora, Tim's mum, and this one does give me nightmares. I am afraid of elevators. I have long hair. I don't like dolls.
This one was built for you.
This one was built for me. I really don't like... Final Destination gave me a lot of my fears in life. I only became afraid of flying after watching Final Destination 1 when I was about 9 years old and was about to fly back from America. So this also, I believe, gave me somewhat of a fear of elevators and dolls. But I don't like it. It gives me higher anxiety as well because it's so drawn out. Like, her hair gets stuck in for a long time, and then she gets stuck in the elevator for a long time. It still gives me nightmares. I think this is a nightmare one. I don't know if that's controversial. It's not one that's usually up there, but...
No, I'm happy for you to put it in nightmares. It's another beheading.
It is another beheading. You do love a beheading.
Good old beheadings.
I will die on this hill that Nora's death is one of the worst... in Final Destination.
Yeah, if it's genuinely scarred part of life for you, then it has to go up there.
Next up, we've got Cat.
Cat and the airbag.
Yeah.
So survives the crash, pole through the back of the headrest, and then it looks like she's getting out. Fireman tries to cut the door off. Airbag explodes.
Yeah, which, I mean... Come on, man. Do your job, bro.
Yeah, right.
Deactivate the airbag. But also, I don't like her very much. So I was pleased to see her go. I do love the scene, actually, where just before the fireman sets off the airbag, he's like, I'll put it into quiet mode. That did make me laugh. But I do think this is a bit forgettable. Because really, I only remember it because of that I'll put it in quiet mode line, which is nothing really to do with the death.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think for me this would be a memorable but mid, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think this is slightly better than forgettable, but
we'll see.
Happy to give it over to you.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, we may rearrange towards the end. Next up, we've got Rory, who is sliced up by a
barbed wire fence.
Yeah. That's okay.
I watch every single part of it, and I'm just like, there's absolutely no way that this can happen.
No. I think this one, I think it's a bit forgettable.
I think it's, if it weren't for like the body parts sliding apart, I think we would be looking at a boring.
We can put it in boring if you want.
But no, the sliding of the body parts is cool. I like the similar kill from the first Resident Evil movie where it all from the sliding bits.
There's one of them in Cube as well.
Yeah. So it's a kill that I enjoy seeing.
Yeah, that's fair. We'll move on to Eugene and Claire, who I've put there separately, but they die together. They're going together. They both die boring, in the explosion. Yeah.
It's boring.
It's boring. Yeah. Like, how are you going to kill off the main character? Well, one of the main characters from the first film, just like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they did Alex even worse. He just gets hit by like a falling brick or something in between the movies.
Yeah.
I didn't include him because it doesn't happen on screen.
Yeah, it's off screen. It's
and
just
also,
mentioned.
I will not disrespect him like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's boring. They just kind of the oxygen tank explodes.
Yeah, like they try and give it the Final Destination build up, but like at the end of the day, it's just an explosion.
Yeah. So are we just not particular fans of Final Destination 2 because they're just down there?
I know, yeah, maybe not. Maybe the deaths fell off.
Yeah. Okay, who else have we got? Brian. Brian is not part of the main crew, but I included him because it is a Final Destination death. He is saved by Rory from death and then dies at the end of the film.
Yeah.
And it's fun. I think it's memorable but mid because it is just a barbecue explosion. But it's memorable because, again, it's unexpected. They're talking, the film is finished, you're not expecting another death.
Yeah.
And then Sheriff Burke and the other one, the female lady character, are speaking with the family, and then out of nowhere, Brian explodes. So whilst it's a mid-death, I think it's pretty memorable.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I would agree.
We've got Frankie Cheeks, who is one of the best and worst characters in any Final Destination movie. Him and Hunt give the same energy. Frankie Cheeks dies from getting his head chopped up by a motor. Like he's in the I'm not really sure. He's in drive-through and another car piles on top of him.
With like...
And a fan or a motor or something wipes out his head. I think it's memorable but mid.
I think it's good. I think this has a really good like Final Destination build-up. There are genuinely during this bit are like so many like really, really different like ways that you think he could go.
And it's tense because you're not sure if it's him or if it's the two... Well, it won't be the two main characters.
Front, aren't they? Yeah.
But they're in the car behind.
Or behind, yeah.
And they jump out the car. And you see the lorry come rolling down the hill.
Yeah.
And you're not sure what's going to happen. I think looking at the iconic deaths, I'm not sure it can go there. But it is memorable.
And just looking at the iconic deaths, I'm already... wondering what getting hit by a bus is doing up there.
I think Frankie Cheeks is memorable but mid.
Memorable but mid.
Okay, so next up we've got Ashley and Ashlyn, who I didn't realise they had two different names until I looked up their names for this. I thought they were both called Ashley. So we've got Ashley and Ashlyn.
The sunbeds. Everyone knows this death. This is one that I think haunts people who haven't even seen Final Destination and for some reason know all about this death.
Yeah, I've never been on a sunbed and I never will. And it still horrifies me. You know what it is? It's just because, I mean, with all the deaths you think, oh, that's a nasty way to go. But that's a nasty way to go.
And this goes on as well. This feels like it goes on for an eternity.
As you know as well, I am very afraid of fire. And so when the sunbeds catch fire, it's horrible. It goes on for a really long time, but it also has a really iconic cut at the end where it pans out and it shows you the two sunbeds, and then it cuts to the same shot, but it's the two coffins next to it.
Yeah,
perfect,
nice.
Perfect, iconic. Yeah. So it does, still gives us nightmares. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, love that.
Next up, we have got Lewis.
Another good one for me.
Lewis dies in the gym.
He does. He's doing some weights or something, and some swords come down. They cut a wire which is holding some stuff, and it.
So I don't know where to put this. I feel like you enjoy this death.
I think this is memorable but mid.
Okay.
Yeah, that's for me. That's fine because I do remember it, but it's not. It isn't. Compared
to getting flattened by a sheet of glass.
I also I think a gym is a really good setting for a Final Destination death.
Yeah.
And I don't think this is the best they could have done.
No, they could have done a lot more with it, to be honest. Okay, let's go on to Erin, who, this one, the build-up is just crazy. But she does eventually just die through a nail gun. Whilst it is nasty, it's multiple nail gun shots through the head. I think it's a bit forgettable. It's not the highlight of the film.
Yeah, I like the addition of her having her hand stuck on front of her face as well. It makes it a bit more like, oh.
Yeah.
For some reason. It's a bit forgettable, I would say.
Okay. Whilst I said I hadn't forgotten a single death in Final Destination,
Perry,
I didn't know who this was. I wrote a list of all the deaths and the characters, but to be thorough, I double checked it against the list of deaths. I don't know who Perry is. I mean, I do know who Perry is. She's the sister's friend. I don't remember that she died or that... I didn't know who she was. I included her because she's on the list that I was using to double check, and I thought, okay, but... So, a bit forgettable because I don't know who she is.
Yeah, sure.
She gets impaled by a...
Oh, this is the flag A white
the flagpole.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gets impaled by a flagpole, but it could even go in boring because there's so much else going on in this scene.
There is, it kind of just happened.
Julie's getting dragged by a horse. The main male character is got like a sword or something, and he's getting rid of the rope that's dragging her along. The main character is there. Mary Elizabeth Winstead is doing a fantastic job. I believe her character's there as well.
Yeah.
We love her. And then Perry gets impaled by a flagpole.
Yeah.
So boring or a bit forgettable?
Boring. Yeah.
Sorry, Perry, we don't know who you are.
The chaos, being impaled by a flagpole is boring.
That is very fair. Next up is the greatest Final Destination character of all time.
Mr. McKinley.
Ian McKinley. And I don't know where to put his death, because I know where I would put his death if he wasn't such a great character. Because he just gets
doesn't matter who
by
he
a
is.
sign.
We're ranking the deaths, not
But
Ian's.
I suppose it is memorable, but it's very mid. It's not forgettable.
No.
It is a memorable death. Because he's doing his whole little villain, and he
is
does this, he
doing
goes
the
like
pointing,
this.
Yeah, he does. Got him in his little picture, look at that.
And then in the DVD version, you could make him jump to the left or jump to the right, but either way, he still got flattened, and it just depended on which side his body went of the side.
What?
So I'm going to say memorable but mid,
Okay.
because I do remember it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next up we're going into sketchier territory for my memory.
Yeah.
And we've got Nadia, who is taken out by a tyre.
It's something flying
from the track, the
from
racetrack.
the
I'm
track
pretty sure
wreckage.
it's a tyre
that
comes over the roof.
Yeah.
They're arguing, and it kills her.
Like quarters her, like cuts
Yeah.
the top like across here.
Yeah. Definitely. I almost didn't include her because I didn't feel she was part of it really, but I included Perry, so Nadia gets included too.
It's probably a boring one.
I think so
Really,
as well.
just a.
You know, we don't know who
loose-
this character is.
That's the thing as well. Yeah. There's no real impact on anything story wise.
Yeah.
Like, it's part of the mass.
It is, and it's like we said
event.
with Perry. There's so much chaos going on that's kind of boring compared to the chaos. There's the crowd crush, there's the explosions, and then just a tyre takes her out. I don't know, a bit boring.
Mm-hmm.
Next up we got Carter. This stuff doesn't give me nightmares because I'm not a member of the KKK trying to lynch someone. So this would never happen to me. I do think it's iconic though, because Why Can't We Be Friends is playing. He gets dragged burning down the street. And it's just incredible cinema. Do you know what I mean?
Cinema.
Mwah.
Peak cinema. This is.
Yeah, peak cinema.
Yeah.
The racist man is set on fire and dragged down the street. And whilst I don't believe in an eye for an eye, I think that's fair enough.
What about Samantha?
Boring.
Boring.
Or forgettable.
I, in this moment, cannot remember it.
So would you put it in boring or a bit forgettable?
For me, it's forgettable because I've forgotten it.
It is forgettable.
But it might also be boring. I don't know because I don't remember it.
It is a little bit compared to all the other deaths that happen in the series. It's one that the lead up and the setup is so good that the end result doesn't feel good. There's the setup where she's in the hairdressers and there's so much setup, and then she opens the door and a lawnmower sends like a stone or a coin or something flying, and it goes through her skull basically and kills her. And it's just, I would say boring because they set up so many other things and then they pull the rug out from under you by having it be something completely different, which I don't think is in the spirit. Because say with Evan, it is something completely different, but it's still relevant because he's climbing down the fire escape. In this, she just opens the door and a lawnmower does the thing. Like
You still get with Evan, you still get the sense because I think he like the ladder like shakes and you can,
he pulls on the ladder a few times.
Yeah, you know that it's an issue.
Yeah, this one just feels completely out of the blue and not in a good way. So next up, we've got Andy. And this one, again, for me, verges between a bit forgetting and boring because I know how he dies, but I can't remember the specifics. Something explodes and pushes his body through the link chain.
Through a chain link.
Chain link fence.
Yeah.
And that's how he dies.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember what happens before
what?
that. It's in a garage. I know that much because he's a mechanic.
My issue with this one is I just wish he went forwards through it. I think that would be a much better visual if you go. I'm sure it pushes in.
I don't
through
remember.
The back.
I guess maybe that's a effects thing. It might have been too difficult.
It probably was, yeah. But
Yeah.
I just want to see it. I watch it and I watch it go like that, and it like chain links his back up.
I know what you mean. I think
And
that is probably because they did that stunt practically.
Yeah.
Where
probably.
I mean, obviously they
Yeah,
didn't actually shove him through a fence, but they did a lot of that practically. But I do know what you mean, because yes, it would have been a better visual.
Yeah, I
if it
just
was
find
his
myself
face.
watching it and being like, that would have been so sick if that was just his like.
Sorry,
his eyes
Andy.
just
I'm
like,
so sorry, Andy. You're going in boring because your face didn't get crushed.
Yeah.
Okay, next up we've got Hunt. And this one for me, I know when
So stupid.
I know that you find this one hilarious, but this one scares me. As someone who's done lifeguarding, spent a lot of time in swimming pools, I am terrified of being sucked through the bottom of a swimming pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having your guts pulled through your booty.
Again, someone having long hair. I'm so scared that it's going to get caught and I'm going to die because I'm going to get stuck in a swimming pool. So maybe not still gives us nightmares because you find this one quite funny.
This is iconic, but
Yes. Iconic, but for different
for
reasons.
being ridiculous.
Iconic for different reasons, I think, for the two of us.
I love this death so much.
I love this death so much. And he's such an asshole that it's
He
so
is.
cathartic to... I mean, no pun intended.
Yeah.
He's an arsehole. It's so cathartic to watch him die like that. So next up, we've got Jonathan, who gets squashed by a bathtub in the hospital. So in this scene, there is a older man being bathed and being racist.
Yeah.
And the bath leaks, and you think it's gonna get the equipment. So Jonathan crawls out of the bed to stop being electrocuted, but then the bath
Weakens
falls
the
through
foundations of the floor.
the bath falls through the ceiling and crushes him.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan is entirely forgettable to me. This death is incredibly forgettable to me. I think I only remember it because there's the old racist man getting bathed. I remember him more than I remember the death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's forgettable.
Fair enough.
I would agree.
So next up we've got George. So we've got another bus kill.
Another bus?
No, it's an ambulance. So
Another vehicle.
Yeah, another vehicle. Whilst it gives Big Terry energy, I cannot give it the same status because the Terry one is so iconic because it's so early on in the franchise.
Yeah, you can't do it again.
No.
And get away with it.
No.
The first time you decide you're hitting someone with a bus is pretty dead.
Yeah.
The
No,
second
it's
time
not.
the second time you do it, it's way below that middle tier.
Yeah. I think it's memorable.
Do you?
Yeah. I mean, we can move
She
it.
gets hit by a car. It's
I
boring.
guess for such a good character, because he's one of the most interesting characters in the franchise, I think. Ian, next to him, is still the best character in the franchise. But I think George is very interesting because his character plays more with the concept of wanting to die and not being able to. So I think he's a really interesting character, and he lives with lots of regret, and death is a big part of his life. I'm overthinking the Final Destination way too much, but he's interesting to me, and I think maybe it's because I like the character so much that it's memorable to me. And also it happens twice or three times because he has a premonition of him getting hit by the ambulance, and then he gets hit by the ambulance because he comes back from the premonition when they're already walking across the road and he can't stop him in time. So maybe it's because it happens multiple times that I find it memorable. But we can put it in boring if you want, if you think it's a boring death.
No, leave it there.
Okay.
Maybe I'll move it later.
This is Nick, Laurie and Janet from The Final Destination, number 4. And this is the kill where they think it's all over, and then a truck, once again, they love a truck.
They do love a truck.
Crashes through the cafe. They
Side of the
also
coffee
love
shop.
cafes.
Yeah, and we get the X-ray vision cracking of bones.
Yes. Which leads into the best credit scene in a Final Destination film, because then it goes through all the kills in the franchise with X-rays.
Yeah.
But the death itself is... So, right?
Yeah, it's a bit forgettable, I think.
It is a bit forgettable. It's, you know what makes it memorable is that it leads into the credit scene, which is so good.
Yeah.
So next up, we are moving into Final Destination 5. We start with Candice. I'm not 100% sure how you pronounce that name. Candice. This one gives me nightmares.
This one's great. This one is fantastic.
Yes.
As someone who really goes out my way during the Olympics to watch the gymnastics when it's on. This one is fucking grim.
Yeah,
it's disgusting.
Horrible.
Oh my
it's
God.
Nasty. I don't particularly like body horror like that. Like, I know we've just gone through like 20 odd deaths or something, and they're fine for me. This one hits different because she's twisted up like a damn pretzel. And it is disgusting. And, you know what? This is going to have to be still good to nightmares. The bit as well, you know, where she's on the... What do you call it? I don't know, gymnastics. She's on like a bar. And she's going like... Doop, 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 and there's a nail in the middle. And she's like...
Pommel.
Yeah. No, it's not, but it's just like a bar, I think.
Okay.
But
the beam.
Whatever it is. And there's a nail. And she's doing like... These are her legs. She's going... Boop, 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 and she's jumping over it. Oh my God, the whole scene is perfect. It's just such a good Final Destination scene.
You go through all the different,
I think it's beyond iconic. I think it has to go here. Not that I'm a gymnast or anything.
The one thing with this one, I want to put it up there. The one thing I do get with this death is the same thing as with our dude in the gym. Is that I kind of wish that the finishing blow here was something more than just her falling off of a bar.
To be honest, the scene gives enough. It gives enough.
No, it does, yeah. I would have liked some stuff in a different
she
order,
goes
maybe.
All through that gymnasium.
Do you know what I want? What I want is them to release a cut of this where in each one she dies on a different piece of equipment.
Yeah, okay. And then you can see which one you'd like. Yeah. But she goes through all that equipment and it's a really good scene. Yeah. So I think gives us nightmares.
It's great.
Next up we've got Isaac, who dies from a Buddha statue.
It is, yeah.
Crushing his head, yeah. And this is another one that's got great build-up. I think Final Destination 5 has, for the most part, really good and iconic lead-up scenes, like setups. They were coming off the back of number 4, which was kind of a drag. And so they were like, okay, we need to get back to what actually makes Final Destination good. And it's the setups.
Yeah.
So they've got really good setups in this one because he's having the acupuncture, isn't he? And then is it going to be the needles? There's a fire in the room? Is it going to be the fire? And then, actually no, it's the statue that he rubbed at the beginning. So again, it's something you're not expecting, but it's been set up. So it's pretty good. And also it's really disrespectful to rub a Buddha statue's belly. So I'm glad that that's what
that came back to it.
Yes. Yeah. So I think it's a really good death. I don't know where to put it, to be honest.
I think it needs to go in memorable. I just don't think it's on the level. I think it's good. I don't think it's on the level of
Terry getting hit by a bus.
Those up there, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, next up we've got Olivia. This one makes my skin crawl, but the death actually doesn't.
Yeah,
so I don't think
not great.
I don't think it can go and still gives us nightmares. If she died in the chair, it would give me nightmares.
Yeah.
But she actually just falls out a window.
The death itself is a bit forgettable, I think.
I think this death is trying to be similar to Tim's death, in that she's in a medical setting, she's in the chair, she's stuck in the chair, but that isn't what kills her. And it's just not as good.
Yeah.
Where would you put it?
A bit forgettable.
Cool. Next up we've got Roy. Awful person, not great, not great character, and he goes out by...
Falls on a hook.
Yeah.
Gets a hook through the chin.
Yeah.
And then it goes further through his chin.
Yeah, and he's just kind of hanging from it, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right. It's a bit boring in terms
it's
of...
all right.
The film?
Yeah, I think it's a bit forgettable.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit
A bit forgettable or boring?
I think it's a bit forgettable.
Okay, that's fine because boring's coming up next. Next we have Dennis, who gets taken up by a wrench.
Yeah, like a spanner just gets wedged in his
I don't remember the
face.
circumstances of his death at all.
No.
I just remember that he gets taken up by a wrench, so boring. Next up, we have Sam and Molly, who are included because although this is a premonition that Sam has, we know that Flight 180 crashes and they die on it.
Yeah, the same thing actually happens to them because they do not get off of the plane.
They don't get off the plane, and this is a prequel, so we know from the first film that they don't get off the plane, and therefore they die in the crash.
Yeah.
So I included that. I didn't include, like, Peter, because he just gets, like, his isn't really Death's plan. Sam / Molly just kill him because he's trying to kill them.
Yeah.
So I didn't include him or the security guard, not really part of Death's plan, but I did include Sam and Molly because they are part of the plan and we know they don't get off and they die. Mm-hmm. It's all right. I mean, it's hard to judge this one.
It's boring.
It's not hard to judge it, apparently. I guess so, because I think where my trepidation came in is that Flight 180, the disaster, is not boring.
No.
But their deaths kind of are.
Yeah, all we see of it really is they just go, woo!
Yeah,
I mean, one of them collides with the wing and gets cut in half,
her.
which is pretty cool.
That's her.
No, she goes up for
and
that.
then he gets burned.
Yeah, no, she deserves better than boring.
All right.
Because she gets cut in half.
Molly, you've taken Sam
Well
with
done,
you.
Molly.
And lastly, we've got Nathan, who is crushed by a piece of Flight 180.
Flight 180.
Yes, because he took Roy's time because he did something that meant Roy got done by the hook.
Yeah.
He caused Roy's death.
Yeah.
So he took Roy's time, but Roy had something he had something that meant he was going to die within the next 2 weeks anyway. Mm-hmm. And so Nathan dies too. So he gets flattened by
It's not Tim's flattening.
No, it's
You don't get this. It doesn't have the same impact as Tim's like.
It is an afterthought of the film.
Yeah.
It's like almost a post-credit scene. Do you know what I mean?
It's a bit forgettable.
I think it's a bit forgettable too.
Bosh.
There we go. Thanks very much for watching. Let us know what you think of our rankings. If you've seen Bloodlines, let us know what you thought of the deaths in that film. As I say, we haven't actually seen it at the time of filming, so we can't even allude to anything. But by the time we've posted it, we probably will have seen it. So let us know where you would put the deaths from Bloodlines into these rankings. Mm-hmm. Like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to our channel, and press the bell button to make sure that you're notified when we post more videos. We're hoping to get back to posting more frequently now that we're less busy.
Bye!
Bye! Let us know what you think. Does Terry deserve to be in iconic deaths?